You just downloaded the show that was nominated Best Entertainment Podcast of 2013, only to be beaten by The Walking Dead. That's where Tony's at, Spyshack. That's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking, Tony is a listening, wearing next to nothing 'cause it's... Hey everybody, this is Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. Tonight is our recap for Ep.09, sitting in my Spyshack, and that would be Tony sitting in his Spyshack.
Yep.
Although we didn't get enough Spyshack, we needed more Spyshack tonight.
Yeah, I mean we got more than we've gotten before. I mean there was a first Spyshack, a first edition.
Well, you know, selfishly, I kind of want Spyshack to be like the next big thing, and then, you know, somebody goes, hey, this guy from Alabama wrote a parody.
True, I get where you're going, but my problem is I don't see how the Spyshack's going to work when there's a cameraman standing right outside the Spyshack pointing at the Spyshack.
I got that. Yeah, I got notes on that.
Well, if you've got notes, all you wonderful listeners out there, we want to hear about them. Our feedback show returns Sunday night this week.
Yep.
You can leave us an email or use our online voicemail. Do it by 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's my time, not Dwayne's. 7 o'clock Dwayne's time, 6 o'clock my time. And you can always do that. Is that backwards?
Yeah.
Whatever. Do it my time.
Just do 7 o'clock Eastern. Stop confusing people.
I'm sorry. I'm going by your notes, which says 6 p.m. Eastern.
Well, whatever. Stop confusing people like I just did.
Just send it in before Sunday.
I'm going to call my lawyer. So
we can listen to it and get it set and done. And delete other emails that we don't want to read or listen to anymore. And you can always go to our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com, and use that link. Is it still there, or did you delete it and not tell me?
No, it's survivortalkwithdnd.com/feedback. That gets you all the different ways to get us.
Right.
Yeah, so there you go. Hey, if you like the show, and we know you do because you're listening, and you want to give a tip or if you didn't, call us in and tell us stop talking so much. But if you want to give a monetary, you know, like you want to help us out financially, there's 3 ways you can do it. You can use Patreon to give an amount per show as little as 50 cents, and you get a special gift in reward. Or you can use PayPal to give a one-time gift or a monthly amount. We have several people that give monthly amounts, which is awesome. Or the easiest thing to do is just use Amazon. You're going to be shopping for stuff anyway. Next time you're thinking about buying a pair of pants or you're thinking about buying a soccer ball or something like that, go to our website, use our link, go to Amazon, buy all the stuff you want. That's the easiest way to help us. But I did just put up a really cool video on patreon.com/survivortalk. You ought to go watch it. All right, let's get to the show. We have a guest through Initial Thoughts. It's my unofficial lawyer.
Your colleague.
My lawyer, because I ain't paying him. And he's about to unmute himself and talk. His name is Will Dennison, the amazing feedbacker from our last feedback show.
Also, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja.
Yes, the Giant Ninja. Hi, Will.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Doing awesome.
Yes.
We also want to welcome the listeners that skipped the first chapter. Glad you could join us for the second chapter.
Yeah. Those of you who don't want to hear me talk about Amazon, Patreon, and PayPal, too bad. You just heard it again.
Unfortunately, with me on, you're going to lose more people. Going to skip to the next chapter now.
That's right. We're in the Will chapter right now.
Sorry, guys.
With Will and I have been talking for about 10 minutes maybe before the show aired, and I'm almost laughed out because we've had a pretty good fun time talking and stuff. But the reason why he's here is because I wasn't sure if David was going to be able to be on time tonight because he had these long soccer meetings, and you know how soccer is, long and long and long.
I'm so glad you read my post because they were games. They weren't meetings or Monday night games.
You're
right. The meetings led into the feedback show. Games led into the actual
so games are even longer.
You'd almost think I planned it that way, but you know.
With no scores. At least
scores.
in hockey, where there's no scores, it's exciting. In soccer, it's just like, and he's running 40 yards down the field. Oh, he lost the ball.
Did we not just do a shoot in the breeze about your son playing soccer now?
Yeah,
you're going to go off on soccer.
I still think soccer's boring.
It's above you. It's too high.
Oh, it's above me. I think not. So anyway, I
Will's like, I am here, guys.
No, it's fine. Soccer is boring. He's right.
You have to say that. You're his lawyer.
No, he's not my lawyer.
Yes, he
Lawyer,
is.
I
He
have to
defended
say
you
that.
online. I've got online proof that he is your lawyer.
No.
I'm not allowed to say things that I know are untrue. I know for a fact that soccer is boring. I can say that.
I love Will.
I can mute him. I'll just.
Hey, Will, did you like Captain America?
Haven't seen it.
Okay. He wouldn't.
Okay, I wonder how many people are skipping this chapter.
Oh, stop it. That's why people like us, because we're just two best friends talking.
So, being a ninja, Will, would
Yes.
you sacrifice your tailbone for some papayas?
I think I would have turned my tailbone a little bit more and not hurt it, but
Yeah.
My
yes, I
tailbone's
would
got more
certainly
cushion.
climb the tree.
Yes. He was going a
That's
little
right.
crazy on that tree.
If me or Will to climb the tree's coming down.
Yeah,
not
it,
us.
it wouldn't be a branch that broke. It'd be the trunk.
That's right. Tree would be on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'd still be climbing it.
Wu wasn't going to climb the tree until Trish made the analogy, and then Wu shot up the tree as fast as he could.
What's up in the tree? I'll get it. Oh, papayas. Okay, I got you now. Hey, Trish, they're not up here. It's just papayas.
Wu did actually climb the tree, though, right? That's what we're saying? Wu
Yes,
climbed
he
Well,
did.
actually, it showed him already in the tree. So unless
Was he
there
the
might have been
first
a
person
lift
to climb the tree? This
Yes,
whole
he was.
season, he was the first person to climb the tree?
climb
Yes.
the tree on TV. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The
Because I
first
thought
person
a couple
we
weeks
saw.
ago somebody stepped on a tree and somebody was saying that might have been climbing, and I
that
don't know. I got
Where's
lost.
that mute button? Where's that
Yeah,
mute?
David's trying to. See, David doesn't like you being on here, Will, because I could tell because he's trying to get the show along.
I don't like when he comes on here and acts all lawyerish. I know what he's doing. There's an underlying meaning here.
I don't know what that meaning is. I mean, I'm just talking here.
Don't lie, Will. You said you wouldn't lie. I cannot say
That's
things
true.
that are not
That's
untrue.
All right, initial thoughts. Let's let Will give his initial thought first, since he's our guest tonight.
All right. Initial thoughts on the whole episode?
Sure, buddy.
All right. I am so glad that Tony found Medea's idol. I wish that nobody had found it. I wish it went unfound the entire time. But if anybody's going to get it, I'm glad it's Tony for two reasons. One, he's going to have fun with it, and we're going to have fun with it. And two, if he gets to the end, it's not going to be because of Medea's idol.
Absolutely. But he's already having fun with it.
Well,
Exactly.
exactly. I pulled it out, but it's fake.
Yeah, he pulled it out and played with it like a 3-year-old all during tribal council.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bag of tricks. What are you going to do?
yeah. Besides, by the way, this is fake. Yeah,
So,
It was a good-looking fake idol.
have we seen a hashtag bag of tricks yet? That's got to be coming.
I don't know. But no, I agree with you because you're right. If he makes it to the end, it won't be because of the idol, especially if he doesn't tell anybody he's got it. Hello.
Right.
With that idol, don't you tell people you have it?
Well, that's the idea. That's what everybody says. That's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah,
that
I
other
mean,
people won't even vote for you because you have it.
See, we
Why not go
debated.
with it?
Yeah, we debated this preseason, and I was thinking don't use it until you have to. But I understand what you were saying about playing it and keeping the vote off of you. But I mean, he used it in a fake manner, and it actually worked in his favor.
Yeah, I don't want him to play it. I want him to tell everybody, y'all, I have the special idol, and I can use it after you vote. So if you vote for me, I'm safe, and whoever I want out's going out. So
Well,
I wouldn't take that chance.
Would people even believe him? You know, he's the only
showed
one
it
that
to
knows.
him?
If he shows them the idol, he can see, yeah, he's got an idol, but that doesn't mean they know the rules.
I don't think he's going to show it until he feels threatened. Before the vote, when he feels threatened. I think he felt. I mean, Jefra had already gone to Jeremiah and said, "Hey, by the way, I'm leaving your group. You know, it's not going to happen. Just to let you know. I wanted to let you know."
Yeah. All right. So, David, do you have any initial thoughts?
I didn't realize that the way to pronounce chocolate chip cookies was chocolate cookies. I had no idea.
Yeah, Gummit, look at my number one thing. I love chocolate chip cookies. I thought maybe Jeff really likes chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
I had the same note. I wrote that Jeff was more probst-like than usual with his description of chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, you're going to have chicken. You're going to have potato salads, and the worst thing you could possibly eat, which is sugar and chocolate, you're going to have at the end.
Yes.
Chocolate chip cookies. My other initial thought was, this island is having fun with this game. because
Island is having
the
fun.
island, because the fate of the rock draws, the fate of the challenges. I love the fact that Jefra got stuck with, I call him Spyshack because it's Spencer, Tasha, and Jeremiah.
And Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy, David. Come
Jeremy,
on.
that's right. And it's Jeremy with a G. But
There goes my second note.
I love that Jefra the island said, I want this game to stay in chaos. I'm going to put the one person that would be most likely to flip with the three people that need her to flip. And that's what the rock draw did, and it was beautiful. And Gracie goes, who's going to win? I said, it doesn't matter. Jeffra's going to be stuck with those three people, either at the reward or away from the reward, and it's awesome. That's the kind of game we want to see.
Yep, I agree. All right, well, I better at least get one of mine in.
Well, let me get my last one then.
Oh, great.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Did you notice Jeremiah voted for woo?
Yes, I did.
eight extra O's.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a Dwayne vote right there.
Jeremiah's been listening to the show.
Woo!
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure it affected his vote. Exactly.
And I also wrote, whether you like Tony or not, he's rocking this game.
You have to enjoy it.
I mean, come on, you got to give him props. All these Tony haters out there, hello, the guy's playing the game.
He's playing great.
He is. So I mean, he sounded so confident towards the end of that little confessional about finding that new idol. I told Grace, he's finding it. He's gonna find it.
Oh, was there any doubt he was going to find it when he did?
Yeah.
It was. I wrote down he's going to find it, and I wrote now with capital letters.
Yeah.
Okay, not now, and then he picked it up.
And it was buried too, man. It wasn't just sitting in a hole somewhere.
No,
he had to go
underground.
And I love his philosophy of there's this weird tree, there's this weird spot. It's never going to be the normal spot. It's going to be in the off spot, not the normal space.
How come he had to pee right when he found it? All of a sudden he just started jumping around doing the pee dance.
He had to go clean himself up and pee. Because he had to go present himself. He had to go win that Academy Award.
Oh my goodness. Any other initial thoughts? You, Mr. Will, any other thoughts from you on the whole episode?
Sure. There were 2 additional sightings of the toe shoes, which I loved seeing.
Yes, because you have those shoes.
I do. We all do.
We all do? Oh, all ninjas do.
Yes.
That's why I don't have
them. They worked real well in the tree. They didn't hang on very well when he fell.
Skipping ahead way, I was disappointed with Spencer tonight for 2 reasons.
Right.
One, I didn't like the way he said he was voting for Wu. I thought it was very, very petulant. I thought it was childish. Kind of back to Kass' zero chance of winning the game. He has his moments that he's very mature, and his moments that he's very immature, and I thought that was a bad moment for him.
Yeah.
But more importantly than that, I think Wu absolutely telegraphed who they were voting for. He made it very, very clear. He said, we thought about who might have an idol and who doesn't, and nobody thinks Wu's clever enough to be making that up and lying at that point. I don't know why Spencer didn't say, well, they're voting for Jeremiah and take the shot. He should have played it for Jeremiah.
Yeah. I almost thought Tony got a little... As my wife said, Tony, that was unnecessary at Tribal Council also.
Talking about the young people not playing very well.
Yeah. You see how he played that? He missed that, Jeff. He missed that right there.
Yeah. Jeff, in case you missed it, I want you to know that he missed it.
Right.
My wife goes, oh, great. He's about to get up and ask to verify his idol.
No, he didn't need it verified. It was a fake one. He told everybody.
Yeah.
This one doesn't need verification. We're good.
By the way, this nicely wrapped in leather that there's no way I could have found on the island, this is fake. All right.
Yeah, I was glad he didn't reveal. I was saying no, don't do it, don't play it. And I love how he said this is fake at the end. That was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we're about to go on, so Will, it was a wonderful pleasure having you on for initial thoughts. Thank you for coming on. Go watch the Blackhawks whip up all over St. Louis.
Thank you, guys. It was fun.
Absolutely, man. Hey, will you be sending in feedback this week?
Probably not. I don't usually get to that. We'll see.
Well, I hope you do, because we really enjoyed last week's.
You got one less day. Let's do Sunday this time.
That's right.
Wait. It's due Sunday now.
Yes.
At 6, 7, 5, 4 Eastern. What?
Yes.
How about Saturday midnight? We'll do that.
Yes, I'll send in feedback.
Awesome, Will. We will talk to you later, buddy. Have a great night.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, David. Previously on, Spencer found a plain old idol. No more of this. I found an idol. It's just, I found a plain old idol. You notice that?
Yeah, I did. Well, I didn't notice that. I didn't catch that. But I mean, I like how they said, yeah. Well, he found an idol, but it wasn't the one.
Right.
You know,
Just a
so
plain old idol.
which told me he's going to play his idol, and somebody's going to find the one.
Well,
I
maybe.
thought the previously on was almost like too much of a teaser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Idol's going to be played. Another idol's going to be found.
Yeah. Okay, so night 25, they're coming back from tribal council. The first thing we hear is Kass. I love this game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just, and yes, she does love this game. Anything else about night 25?
Well, I liked how Trish didn't come back mad. She came back, I just want to know why. I just want to know what was going on. What were you thinking? You know, I still trust you because, when it comes down to it, Tony did warn her. He did go to her and say, LJ's saying this. Whether she believed him or not is another story. But I just like that she didn't get mad. She got over it. And she moved on. There's nothing she can do about the LJ vote. It's gone. It's passed. It's like a referee's decision. You cannot change it. Let it go. I like Kass's question. Was this a one-vote alliance, or are you flipping? And Tony immediately says, no, that was one vote. That was it. Right. I used him for what I needed him for, and that was all I needed him for. And then Jefra comes right, and all of a sudden Jefra's stepping up and talking now. I guess since LJ's gone, her mouthpiece is gone. She's got to start talking. Yeah. And she wants to know, am I on the bottom? And he's like, there is no bottom, or there is no number sequence. It's how it goes day by day.
That's right. You don't think Trish kind of like trusted him? I mean, she like in a confessional said, I trust Tony. I mean, isn't that foolish to trust Tony?
Absolutely. Because like Spencer says all through the episode, you can't trust Tony because he's too unpredictable.
That's right.
You never know what he's going to do, and he's always playing for himself. But when it comes down to it, there's just, you got to be one person you can trust. And I think since day one, they connected when it was the anti-Cliff thing. And, he's still there. He's never voted for Trish. He voted without her, but he knew. Even Trish rationalized. He didn't tell us because he knew there'd be a problem.
Well, he had a good argument. He said, look, I couldn't tell you were you because y'all were really close with LJ and you wouldn't have understood, and so I just couldn't tell you. And because Trish was so close to LJ, she could relate to that, and she was okay with it.
And I think she also understood that she probably couldn't have beaten LJ. Once they got to the end, and that's going to come up later, which is really interesting. The last thing I got for that night was
hold on. A little more about Trish. She also, even later on in the episode, shows that she just has an undying trust of Tony. Because even when she questioned him in the water, it wasn't for real. It was for Jefra's sake. Right. It was so Jefra could see her do it.
Right. Like she said, we called out Tony. Yeah.
Right. She didn't really call him out because she's tight with him.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting your friend to say it to the other friend, right?
Right.
The last thing I wrote was, like last week, Tony ended the first night, the tribal council night, by saying, we might not all be safe, not all of us. Somebody's going to be safe, somebody's not going to be safe, and it showed a picture of LJ. And then this week, Spencer says, I got to take Tony out because you don't know what he's going to do next, but we got to get somebody to flip. Camera goes right to Jefra.
Right.
Oh, they're setting us up.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you enjoyed hearing Will on the show tonight, I kind of thought it was fun, and David and I thought it was fun to have him on. I think he was on maybe 5 or 10 minutes. One of the Patreon levels, you get to be on the show for a little while, which is pretty fun. It'll be Survivor Talk with D&D and insert name here, if you get that level. All right, day 26. First thing we see on day 26, Tony running. And let me tell you something. Don't you know they don't got their fat cameraman on Tony?
No.
No.
I thought they got a four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Because he's moving.
That's hilarious. Tony's just like, boom!
That could be the second or third time he did it. Hey, we lost you. Can you come back and we'll do it again, please?
Yeah. I need a more active stabilizer on my camera because it's running too far. My song is given new life, David. Spyshack, Tony Spyshack, given new life because Tony makes a blueprint. I don't know why where did he make a blueprint? I don't know this. But he makes a blueprint and makes a spy shack. Of course, I wrote down, what good is a spy shack if the cameraman is standing right there filming you in it.
Exactly. That was hilarious. He's hiding in. I can see him going, get away.
Yeah.
No, this is like part of the episode. We got to film this.
So I think this is what happened. In all honesty, I think this is how production handled this. They got some clips of Tony in the Spyshack and the whole leaf thing,
Yeah.
And they got some clips of him, squatting down and moving around and looking and stuff. But whenever he was actually listening in on somebody, they weren't around him. I bet they just left him alone.
I couldn't disagree with that because he got a lot of shots of him looking through the leaves and stuff,
Right.
and yeah, he was probably when they showed him getting in, he was probably getting in to test it. To see how big it was. So.
Right. Now, Trish posted on Twitter this either today or yesterday that she has a secret about the Spyshack, and she won't tell it because Tony will get upset.
I wonder if she knows about the Spyshack.
I want to know what her secret is.
What could it be?
I don't know. I thought maybe they were using it as a toilet, and he didn't know it. Like maybe her and Jefra walked up on it and goes, "Hey, let's leave him a little gift."
It sure is raining in here.
Yeah. He's like, "Man, why is my
Spyshack
Spyshack all wet?" But anyways, he didn't even really get a whole lot from Jefra and Trish's conversation. It'll be interesting to see if he got more from others.
Well, he got he got what he was looking for. He got to find out that Jefra did not trust Tony, and I'm thinking, okay, is Tony going to turn it somehow and get rid of Jefra? But I liked it. I was kind of right in that this Final Six needs to become a Final Five.
Yeah.
If Jefra needs to stay, then you just start getting rid of the Luzon, the brains that are over there. But it was good. I mean, I liked it. I think your song's going to make a comeback, so it's got to come back. Spyshack 2.0.
It's got to. I mean, heck, it won't be because I'm not posting it on Twitter every day.
Yeah.
Because I most certainly am.
And it will be again tomorrow.
Yes, it will be there again tomorrow.
He said this. I titled this section "Red Flag Goes Up." Tony's red flag, and he's running, and Gracie goes, "He's just paranoid." I said, "Honey, you got to be paranoid to some degree out there in this game."
She's just now figuring out that Tony's paranoid. He's been paranoid since day one.
Since he was on the truck.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. They probably called him on the phone, and he looked around to see if there were cameras in his house.
And then he started building a Spyshack in his house.
Yes. Anything else on that, or you want to go to a reward challenge, which they got to rather quickly?
Yeah, I think that was about it. He mentioned he only truly trusts Wu, Trish, and Kass, which I was kind of surprised to hear him say they trust Kass, but that's just a relationship, obviously, that's been built.
Yep. All right, reward challenge, 2 teams, and I like that they didn't tell they were playing for letters from home.
Oh, yeah. I think they surprised another group like that a while back. It seems like the Philippines that did that.
Playing for a barbecue lunch, although that looked like sesame chicken. It looked like Asian food, or at least that darker stuff looked like sesame chicken.
I was watching so fast I didn't quite catch all that.
Yeah, but anyway, so playing for barbecue lunch at Awesome Caves and chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, stressing the cookies.
Yes, cookies. So anyway, so you have an orange team, Kass, Trish, Tony, and Wu.
Mm-hmm.
And purple team, Spencer, Jefra, Tasha, and Jeremiah. This is really a rather evenly divided teams.
Which told you right away that if you chose 2 men win reward, then you were going to be right because there's 2 men on each team.
Hey, I did that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, but I still got points tonight. I still got points.
I also picked Jeremiah to go home. The one
20?
week you didn't.
No, I gave him 10. I put 10 on him and 10
I know,
on
but how
Tasha.
many weeks in a row have you put 20 on Jeremiah?
At least 3.
I love
Trying to catch up.
Yes. So, and then did you hear Probst? Tasha's doing a great job of leading her team. Did you hear that?
I did because she was doing it by herself. It's almost like, hey, Tasha's doing it alone. Good job, Tasha, while Tony and Wu are doing the other one together.
Yes.
And all of a sudden we start seeing the other one's help.
Yeah. It's also yeah, you're right, because Tony and Wu did everything together, and Tasha kind of did everything on her own.
Right.
But what's interesting is, I mean, Tasha, if Tasha wins the game, which I hope she does, she's my pick to win, then there's no saying she didn't earn it. You know?
Oh,
They have given us edits, like Probst saying Tasha's doing all the work, Tasha's doing a great job, And what I said during the immunity challenge, which I realize I'm jumping ahead, I was telling Connie, I said, you know what, at this point, those three, Woo, Spencer, and Tosh, better start winning everything because everybody knows they're a threat now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, they're the only three that have won immunity. They're the bottom three again. You know, I mean, the top three again.
Yeah.
Tasha is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah. And she's extremely likable.
And unfortunately, she's on the low side of the numbers. And like Jefra said during the tribal council, I'd rather be sitting with one of these guys than any of y'all at the end because I can't beat y'all.
Exactly.
So Tasha's going to have to do something, like keep winning. But anyway.
I noticed the boats had names, and I was starting to probably think too deep into this. They had Solana and Apari. So, I mean, I guess when they split up into two teams, did they just rename them the team? I mean, did they actually? They probably didn't give them names. But the boats. Now, was there another challenge? Wasn't there another challenge with boats?
Man, I'm
really dating myself now. I've completely forgotten because it went so fast. But we noticed that there were names on the boats. Obviously, they probably just reused them.
Yeah.
But
somebody with better short-term memory than me will remember that.
And I.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like the division of the teams. It's the island saying, "I'm not finished messing with this game."
Right. Ow, David! Watch it with your paddle in my head.
That was a headbutt.
Yeah. I thought I saw the end of the paddle hit her head. Hit
in
Jeffer's
the water?
head. Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just talked about the headbutt that Jeremiah gave her at the end.
Oh, at the end? Oh, so I totally missed that. Yeah, he hit her in the head with this thing. He goes, "I'm sorry." She goes, "It's okay, it's okay. Keep going."
Exactly. Keep going.
So they're neck and neck with one box left. And since I was typing a lot, Connie, I didn't even catch this until Connie said it. I love how they have to crisscross in the water.
Yeah.
To go to the boxes.
Right.
Love that because you inevitably somebody has to let the other person go, or somebody gets stopped completely and has to wait.
I also loved how they covered the paddles up, and you couldn't see the letters until they got up on the beach.
Yes.
Because I was thinking, well, if somebody's in the boat, they need to start looking at these paddles and see what letters are on there. And sure enough, they're all covered.
Hey, did you know there's not a Y in fighting?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, there's not. There's not a Y in fighting. You idiots! That was Tony's thinking.
But I like how they cheated back and forth and used each other until they finally came up with it.
Yeah, okay. So, thinking of soccer, what would you have done with the other people on your team? What could you have done with the other people on your team to keep the others from looking over?
Same thing we did tonight when there was a foul near our end of the field is to make a wall.
Make a wall. That's exactly what I was thinking. How about the people that are not doing the puzzle stand so they can't look over and see what you're doing?
Well, we've seen people go so far as to get off the pier and walk around and look at other people's puzzles. So I mean, I don't know how much of a wall two people could have made. But
still, right. I mean, you know what? Any obstruction's better than nothing, especially when they're just blatantly looking over.
I mean, of course, we got hindsight now, but the best thing you can do is call out words that don't have anything to do with the puzzle. Just so long as your teammates know it has nothing to do with the puzzle. I'm just trying to distract them.
Yeah. Look, idle. Spell idle.
Idle final boat. Yes, that's it.
Probst is hot. Or something, you know. Oh, man. So let's see. You got Woo and Kass, Spencer and Tasha. And then a lot of looking over, just like you said. And then, of course, which team won? Not Tony's team.
Right.
The purple team won, and Tony's so upset. There's no Y in fighting.
I told you, man.
I told you.
Once again, Woo is on the puzzle solve.
Yes.
And it fails.
Yes. Those 4 on reward, Tony says, bad things are going to happen.
Exactly. Did you also notice, to me, I know Kass is smart, and I don't mean to pick on Kass, but Spencer and Tasha were moving at twice the speed of Kass and Woo. It seemed like. Yeah. And I don't know if it's once they figured it out, they were jumping like crazy, but it just seemed like Spencer and Tasha were, for one, working well together. And I don't know if that came from Jeff. I'm sure it didn't come from Jeff and Jeremiah helping them. But still, the fact that they were just moving twice as fast as Kass and Woo seemed like.
Right. And anytime you talk about someone moving twice as fast, so the first thing I thought of was a joke, no, they just, sped up the camera.
Yeah.
And then that made me think of, you know that? Slap. the Benny Hill show. Yeah. All right, let's go back to losers. Let's go with the losers back to camp.
Okay.
So
and obviously the first thing to talk about is, they hate losing, but they're worried about Jefra.
yeah, Jefra's over there with Kass, Jeremiah, and Spencer. And they are right. She is very vulnerable, although nothing can change a woman's mind like a letter from her mother.
And probably some barbecue food.
Barbecue food.
That makes it help too.
Yeah. So Trish is going to go out and get some water, right?
Yeah.
This is great. So before we get to Kass, what Kass says about Tony, this whole Trish and Tony thing, which ultimately leads to Tony finding the idol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trish comes back with the water. She's like, what? Y'all are talking strategy. How about we all go work together? It reminds me of the whole Lindsey thing.
Yeah.
There's wood in their woods you could go get.
Yeah.
Why don't we all work together, and then we can talk strategy together? I'm all for that.
Right. I like Tony. He eventually says, I got to go work by myself. But, I mean, it makes me wonder how much time they had. I mean, if they were really short for time, then, yeah, they could all go get the stuff and talk strategy while they're out there. But I kind of get what she says, because you don't want to be gone when somebody's talking strategy. You know, because it's so easy to bring your name up when you're not there.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm kind of glad, hey, we're worried about strategy, and you guys are going to talk while I'm working. I'm not feeding you guys while you talk strategy.
Yeah. So where do you think Kass went? Because we know Tony went off by himself. Wu went with Trish. Where did Kass go?
Did she go somewhere?
I don't know.
Maybe she didn't go anywhere, or maybe she followed Tony.
Kass, if you're listening and you're on YouTube right now,
where did you go?
Feel free to just kind of put in some random place that you might or might not have gone, hypothetically.
She went to go bury the Medea idol. Yes. She already had it. That's what it was.
Kass, if you were playing on Survivor and 3 of your players went off and you were left alone at camp, where might you have gone, hypothetically?
Hypothetically, of course.
Yes. All right, so now let's go back to Kass in a confessional. Look, Tony's annoying, but keep the annoying. What, was that in a confessional?
This is later. That's later on.
No, it says Trish getting water, and Kass says in a confessional, Tony's annoying, but keep the annoying and get rid of the threats.
Yeah, well, she says that later.
Later, too.
Yeah.
And then they're talking strategy. Okay. Lime and papayas, Tony says. I'll go look for an idol.
Yeah, really.
I'm in the papaya.
You go look for all the stuff you want. I'm in trouble, so I'm going to go look for an idol.
So Wu, at the thought of what those papayas are, shoots up that tree, and then he falls down the tree.
Did we actually see him climb it?
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Branch broke. Oh, man. When my son is up in the tree 30, 40 feet in our front yard, he gets up there and likes to just sit. And I'm like, dude, man, watch out for the trees, for the limbs don't get on a limb without leaves on it.
I was disappointed that they showed Wu talking about the fall before it actually happened.
Yeah, I know. We know he's not going to get medevaced.
And I'm thinking, is he at the Ponderosa? No, he looks like he's still in the game.
Yeah. Right then and there, you knew he's not getting medevaced.
Right. But I love how when he fell and he started getting up, there was like a stick that looked like it was almost sticking out of his backside. It's like,
my butt.
Yes.
Every time Joshua, my middle son, he's been doing this for years. But he'll be in a room by himself and something falls or whatever, and he'll go, "Oh, my leg!" Right? He always does that. So we'll be upstairs. What happened? But now if he ever actually hurts his leg, we won't believe him.
He's crying wolf too many times.
Yeah, and he's like kidding. He'll do it just for fun. Oh, my leg! And so I thought of that whenever he goes, "Oh, my butt."
But I think his butt actually hurts.
Oh yeah, I do. And then he said, "I'd break my for papayas any day."
There you go.
So, all right. Anything else with the losers at camp before we get to the winners at reward?
No, it was kind of obvious, but it was funny.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Oh my goodness! Did you take time to just look at that cave?
As I ran to the food. Get me to the food. I love the cave. It's beautiful. After I win $1 million, I'll come back and look at it again. Get me to
I don't know. See, I think I would have taken my time and enjoyed the beauty of the cave. I mean, the food's only 10 minutes away. I don't have to give up 10 minutes of that epic sight just because I'm hungry. That's just me. I mean, it was gorgeous.
And see, I don't want to get distracted, unfocused when I'm walking up to something that one could have a clue, one could start. We're getting ready to start a conversation that I hope is going to go in my favor.
Yeah, but they were nowhere near the food. I'm talking about okay, I understand. When you get close and you can see the table, then yes. But on their way there, I mean, they had to walk a long way through the cave to get to it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you would have been thinking about where the clue is, and I would have been enjoying the view, and
Well,
then.
Actually, I'd have been thinking about the food and then thinking about the clue.
Okay.
All you can eat, right? Okay.
Yes. Well, I don't think it was. I think it was what was
No.
on that table.
Yeah.
So, of course, Spencer, is talking about, hey, we're on the reward with Jefra, who we need to pull in.
Right.
I think Spencer's also thinking, why couldn't you have been on my last reward?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm wondering if they went to Kass after they got her later on, because Kass was used to be with Spencer and Tasha, and that would have been the fifth person right there. That would have broken the tie, but
I don't know. Well, you know what? You would think they probably did, and Kass probably told them things, and
because Jefra told Jeremiah later that, oh yeah, by the way, so then no point in showing it.
I'm going to hold you to your handshake, but I'm not going to hold me to my handshake.
I'm gonna hold you to it this time.
Yeah. So Jefra, makes me question where I am in the alliance. But you know what? Even if you aren't questioning where you are in the alliance and you're on a reward with these three, yeah, you say all this stuff.
Exactly.
I know she wasn't doing that, but if I had been in her position, I probably wouldn't have wanted to switch alliances, and I would have been telling whatever they wanted to hear.
Exactly. You tell them this is what Sarah needed to learn. Sorry, Sarah, but you tell people whatever they need to hear so that you can stay in a position to control your fate. And since Jefra had been with it before on Solana, original Solana, she probably knew that 4 against 4 is trouble for anybody that's not the 2 votes.
Yeah.
So, yes, tell them what they want to hear. And she might have been sincere after the letter came. I love how they asked her about flipping. And she sat up and said, I'm going to need more food before I can think about that.
Right.
I thought that was funny. Good thinking.
Right. Man, then they bring those letters and
yeah. And for some reason, I think about playing Survivor, and I think we even had to talk this weekend when Bailey was home after I took that picture about who I would take, who I would want to come out. And I said I'd probably take Gracie. 1, because she's a fan. 2, because I don't know how Terry would do out there. I don't know if she'd want to do it. And
Terry would be like, dirt!
Yeah. Y'all should probably clean this up before we get started.
I have some antibacterial soap before I touch this.
Yeah. And no, she'd have it on her.
Yeah. She'd have
I'm
a fanny pack.
so glad she doesn't listen to this. But Bailey, being a vegetarian and picky, she would fail if it was an eating challenge. And I wouldn't want to take that chance. But at the same time, I told Gracie, but if you come out there, I'm probably going to whisper to you, we're not going to win this challenge. Just let you know now, we're not going to win. But I could see she's our athlete. Bailey was an athlete, but Gracie's the one that could play in college, and she loves Survivor. She would have a ball coming out there.
Yeah.
So who would you take from your family?
Well, I would say Connie, but she has MS. So if it was hot at all, she wouldn't be able to do anything. So if I wanted, I don't know, because none of them watched Survivor with me.
I thought Nathan watched or followed it. Not anymore?
Not anymore. Mm-mm.
I don't know. Think about your boys. Is if Jeffra's still out there, or even Morgan's still out there, or Alexis is still out there.
Well,
Nathan would say, "Hey, Dad," and you'd be going to hug Nathan, and Nathan would go, "Hi, I'm Nathan."
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
And Joshua would say, "Hi, I'm Joshua."
Yeah. Beautiful day for a swim.
That's right.
The line he used when he was 3.
Is this a swimming challenge?
Yes.
I've got my suit.
When Joshua was 3 years old, I don't know if you've heard this story before,
No.
but we lived in this little apartment area while we were building a house in Virginia. So I guess he wasn't 3. Well, I don't know how old he was. I don't know. But anyway, I guess he would have been. And my mom was watching them, and they went out to the pool, and there was this other little 3-year-old girl in the pool. And Joshua just walks up to her and sits beside her and goes, "It's a beautiful day for a swim."
The player. At 3 years old, he was a player. And you took him to New York. How crazy is that?
I did. Yeah, well, anyway. All right. So where were we? Anyway?
The point I was making was I thought about, the more I'm thinking about if I ever did get to play, that seeing this letter come to me, not knowing who it was from, but not caring, knowing it was from one of my family members would almost be like having them right there.
Yeah.
And I love what Jefra said. She's so excited just to look at her handwriting. It's her mom's handwriting, and it just brought her to, and I'm like, I would be so balling.
Oh yeah,
That letter, I'm just balling.
Yeah. It's like, didn't Cochran say this was the one thing that took him out of the game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, especially when they were there, that gave him a moment outside the game.
I think he even said it almost is like a double-edged sword because it means so much and it can encourage you, but at the same time, it takes you out of game mode for a little while.
Right.
You know. So, all right. So, Final Four. You know the whole thing.
They shake on it. She's going to keep Jeremiah to a shake this time.
Yeah.
I'm holding you to it.
When you go back to camp, do you tell the others about the letters?
No.
I'm thinking you don't.
No.
Mm-mm. All right, immunity challenge, day 28.
And I'm thinking, man, this episode's going by fast.
Yes.
We're already at the immunity challenge.
At this point in Dalton Ross's recap, parental guidance will be suggested.
Yes.
Because he loves it whenever Probst does this. And I'm almost thinking Probst does it on purpose. But there's a lot of can be taken out of context comments.
Because there will be round balls.
Yes. Stop. Yes. We're not doing any of it.
Oh.
But no, I'm not going to.
Clean. I was going to keep it clean.
All right.
But never mind. Go ahead.
But Will, feel free to put them on the YouTube comments because they were quite hilarious.
Yes.
So you bounce the ball on the platform while you balance on an angled board that gets narrower as it goes down.
Right.
So there's two different things you're having to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would have made it past 3 minutes like half of them didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jefra, Trish, Tony, and Kass are out before 3 minutes is even up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Brawn is no longer a threat at this point in the game.
No.
Because none of these challenges lean towards or favor athletic people. They favor people that have good balance, maybe, but that's not athleticism.
I think Trish though is still Wu is obviously athletic, but he's got a good center of gravity. He's one of those core strength people, and Tasha to me is one of those core strength people that build their core to keep their balance and stuff. She's still quite fit. You can tell. I mean, she's not a cheerleader anymore, but she is still fit.
Right.
She's an athlete. And Spencer, that boy does something besides play chess.
Yeah.
The boy's he's a little bit of an athlete, whether he claims to be or not.
Yeah. I was really surprised Trish got out. I mean, the woman's a Pilates teacher and stuff like that, and she does yoga and stuff. I mean,
she's not dominating like we thought she was. Yeah.
I fall all over myself whenever I try to do yoga. It is the most frustrating. Oh, man.
But I could see Tony having trouble with this because he's holding it up going, I wonder if my Spyshack is still there. I wonder who's thinking about voting me out. I wonder where the ball go.
Yeah. Oh, I had no question Tony was going to be out. I mean, Tony's mind racing is enough to make the ball go off the level, you know?
That's right.
So.
And once again, the island decides it's going to take part in the challenge.
Yes, lots of wind.
Put a little wind on it. It's as soon as we start, the wind shows up.
Yes. You've been personifying the island a lot this episode.
I think the island is enjoying this season and wants to keep us guessing and keep it fair and balanced. I think it's kind of neat.
So the island is Fox News.
No.
Said fair. Okay, but David, the island does not have a consciousness. It cannot. Are you serious or are you just messing around?
Play along.
Okay, I'm playing along then. Yes,
the
much
fates
like
of
Lost,
the game. Yes,
much like Lost, the island is part of the game this season.
But you gotta admit, things are falling in a very fun way. I mean, the fates of the rock draws and stuff, and then the one person they get on their reward challenge, and then the one guy in the most trouble, who's the most entertaining, gets the idol.
That's right.
That's so awesome.
So 10 minutes, they move down and they move their hand down.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always good. And Jeremiah's out. All three that are left have one immunity. And like I said before, these three had better just start winning it out because they're going to be, targeted.
Yeah.
Except for Wu, it's like Scoopin told us once. Even if you're a challenge threat, that's okay if you're in the numbers.
Right.
So, because your alliance protects you.
I mean, it would definitely be Spencer out, Josh out, one of those two first, and then probably Wu would be the fifth one out.
So 20 minutes, Wu is out, and I wrote, so who are the most dangerous?
There you go.
they keep talking about Tony being the most dangerous and all this stuff. Tasha and Spencer are the most dangerous.
Yep.
They're both social. They're both very good at challenges. Man, those two, if they make it to the final three, I feel sorry for whoever else is in there, or the final two, whatever. Yeah. So Tasha wins again, and then we get Jefra saying, I don't feel safe with Tony. Maybe I should get him out now.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't
That lasted about 2 minutes of a commercial.
Yeah. So anything else about the challenge that you liked? Keeping everything level?
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't exciting.
No, it really favored those that have good core balance and center of gravity. So
yeah.
You know what I really liked? I liked last week's. As simple as it was, I liked last week's, which I also liked Blood versus Water when they did the blocks where you got to show the shape or show the order and stuff that he did. I like those memory games. It's just works out for different people.
Yeah. All right, back at camp, Tasha wants to plans to blindside Tony.
And gets to win a point right off the bat.
Yes.
What's the blindside word?
Yeah, even if we can't get 5, we're just going to go 4 to 4. You might as well, because we're going to get picked off one by one anyway.
Right.
So you might as well. But of course they can't keep Jefra.
No.
Now, you know what? The fact that they can't keep Jefra says something about them. They're not trying to keep her in the fold. You got to keep talking to her. You can't just let her go sit with all of her friends.
You keep her away from the other people.
Yes.
And you got to keep reminding her why she shouldn't stay with them. But it's the same point. This is really a hard time to flip because you don't want to force a tie. You force a tie and the votes don't change. You're the one drawing rocks.
That's true. But see, Jefra might not have realized that.
Right.
Although she might have, though, because she made some smart comments.
Oh, no, I think she did. I think she did see the tie and said, I'm not really going to do this. I'm just going along. I want that food over there.
Yeah. So we get Tony running to find the idol again, and meanwhile, Kass, Trish, and Jefra are in the water, and Trish knows something is wrong.
Yeah.
So basically, we get this conversation about Tony.
This is interesting because Kass claims to be a good reader of people, which she was because she said Spencer had the idol,
right.
And Trish is a good reader of Jefra, of the people within her group. She read her exactly. Something's wrong, and I can see it on your face.
Right. And I like what Kass says. Look, you can't just keep voting off people because they're annoying, or you're going to lose the game. You want to take them with you.
Right. Exactly. That's what you were saying earlier in the confessional, that she came back and said it right to Jefra. You want to take these people that you don't like. There's a reason you don't like them. There's a reason that you keep them. I also like, and we may not have seen it, but I also like that we never heard, you're not thinking about flipping, are you? Why would you go with them? Almost like you're doing something stupid.
Right.
It was more like, let's work this out. Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Let's do it very sociably and do it on a happy note. And they did. I thought Trish and Kass handled that very well, especially Trish.
Yeah. And you know what? If you think about it, those 3 women, they're in a power position in that 5.
Yes, they are.
Women against men.
It could come to that.
And
we haven't seen that all season. We haven't seen that all season.
I bet they've talked about it and just haven't told us.
Because when you're in a group of 3, that's your final 3 until you get with a different group.
Yeah.
When you're talking to people.
Yeah. Back to Tony finds the awesome tree and finds the idol. Why is no one hanging around Tony? Why is no one in the camp wondering where he is?
Exactly. And why is no one suspicious when he comes back to relax in the water?
Yeah.
Tony never relaxes.
What are you doing out here, Tony?
You look calm.
And what is that bulge in your pants? in the back of your pants. What's that bulge?
Right. You're right, though. This guy takes off by himself. Camera follows. Why is it? Come on, pull a woo, Spencer.
Yeah.
Go chase Tony.
Yeah, he had way too much time by himself.
Yeah.
I kept expecting somebody to walk. I guarantee you, if Andrea Belke had been out there, he would not have been out there by himself.
No.
Mm-mm. So he finds the special idol, and as we talked with Andy Baker about, we did get the instructions on the idol.
Mm-hmm.
Only protects the person who finds it.
Yes.
He cannot give it to somebody else or play it on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's his idol.
Right. So he's safe until he has to play it.
Yep. Should he tell? So you think he should wait until like a tribal council where he's going home and then reveal it, and then whoever he voted for goes home?
No, I think he should, if he feels threatened, if he feels, of course you never want to feel comfortable, But if Tasha or Spencer win again, and everybody's on board to vote the other one, then I would not show it at that tribal council.
Right.
But if they win it and you're starting to realize, Jefra sure is hanging around them a lot. Kass has been talking to Spencer a lot. That's when he needs to feel threatened, especially after this tribal council, when Spencer and Tasha made it very clear who they're voting for.
Right.
Because he needs to feel threatened as soon as he realizes people aren't talking to him anymore. That's when you want to bring it out, like you said, before the vote and steer it away from you.
Yeah. Makes me want to. Okay, so this is the way I think it should be played. Now that I'm just kind of trying to think through it. There's no need, just like you said, until he's threatened. So I'm thinking, don't tell everybody now. Wait until they actually vote you out. Then play it. Then you get the shock value of blindsiding somebody. And then the game changes. Until then, the game's the same.
But then it's only worth one tribal council. Because you had said...
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. Yeah, right.
Yeah, what you said at the beginning of the season is what I'm thinking once he feels threatened. You play it at the beginning of the sit-down.
Well, you show it.
Yeah, well, not play it. You show it, correct, at the beginning of the sit-down, and then you steer the vote away from you. Then it should get you through at least 2 tribal councils.
Right. Okay, yeah. My mind went.
No, you were right. You just skipped a part, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Will says, that's not the island, David. That's production. I don't know, Will. Production doesn't have a big wind machine that they...
And they don't choose rocks. The rocks are chosen by the players, and the rocks fall in the bag in certain ways. That's not production. Who is Will? Where did this person come from? How did he get on our podcast?
I already told you how he got on them. No, now he's just in the YouTube leaving comments.
I know.
Along with other people that we'll talk about in just a little while, because there's some good comments. So anyway. Yeah, in fact, Janice has got one that I want to make sure I show to everybody whenever we get to it. But, all right, so we get that. He goes back and joins them. And then, hello, Tony, don't get all, I'm insulted that you would even say that to Trish.
And it's funny because I think you're right. I think Trish was doing it for him to say it to Jefra. Don't say it to me. Say it to the girl that we need to keep in our group.
And he gets all offended.
Don't insult me.
Dude.
Because I've been playing everybody. I've been lying, but don't insult me.
Everybody knows you're lying. It's not an insult. If you know me, I vote on I swear on my baby, on my father, on my mother, on my wife. If you know me, and I'm thinking, dude, they all know you lie. This is not helping you any.
The last one he swore on was everybody, so he could have just done that first.
Goodness gracious.
But is that Tony acting? Is that Tony being paranoid? I think it's maybe for a split second he worried about Trish.
Yeah.
Trish, and then I think he realized she was asking for Jefra, like you said.
Yeah. So Kass thinks Spencer has the idol, and do you think maybe she saw him? He doesn't think she saw him, but do you think she saw him?
No, I think by the way Tasha is playing, that because Tasha went to Tony to beg to keep her around. We got that from Morgan's exit interview, that she went to Tony and asked, please keep me around. And I think Tony may have even shared that, whereas Spencer's probably not talking to much of anybody except his own alliance. And I think she knows that he's playing calm and cool, and he's certainly not going idol hunting anymore.
Yeah.
Unless he's picking him out. So I think she's got a good read that he's got the idol.
Yeah, I just remember whenever he found it, she was like right there next to him.
Well, they kind of showed her looking away. He was very suspicious, just keeping his hands in that little wall area.
Yeah, and then of course he didn't look. I guarantee you, the way he looked for the idol was not as fervent as it was before he found it, and then he left shortly thereafter. Oh, I'm gonna go look for it.
That's when you get suspicious.
She probably caught the clues. It's circumstantial evidence, of course, but I think.
And it's also, you can take into account of how they talked to each other since the beginning. Right. And if he's never apologized, never done anything out of the ordinary, and suddenly he apologizes, the next thing you know, he's walking away. Calm. Yeah. Oh, he's got something.
Yeah. So Jefra decides to tell Jeremiah she isn't voting with him. Why?
Because I just came out of the water and decided to change my mind.
I know, but why tell him?
Exactly, yeah. Because if she was going to break her word, she wanted to be honest about it.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Maybe still get his vote.
That's right. There you go. That's true.
Yeah. And then this is where Janice's comment comes in. All right? Here it is. The most interesting thing they could find that Jeremiah said to put in the episode, knowing he was going home, was, hey, guys, I am really a model. I mean, what kind of big secret is this?
Oh, that's why you're so hot.
Yeah.
That's what Tasha said.
Oh,
I'm
that's why
like,
you're so hot.
that was not what I expected him to say.
No, I didn't know what he was going to say. I didn't think it was going to be the model thing.
I thought he was going to mention what Jefra just said, and we got to come back with another plan, or one of us is going to go. Because he didn't know about the idol at the time.
Right.
And it was so funny and so out of the ordinary. I expected Spencer, who I would consider kind of a humorous, sarcastic person, to say, well, I'm a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
So, that's where I come from.
I'm a chess champion. You've got nothing on me.
I was going to say, what's a chess champion voice? But I like that Jeremiah actually caught him before he even said it. Says, oh, you got the idol. Because I think Jeremiah's been hearing the other people talk about Spencer possibly having an idol. So.
Yeah. I was going to say something else about that. What was it? I just don't remember. All right, so he tells that he's a model, and then Spencer tells him he has an idol.
Right.
Why? Why did Spencer tell them that?
Because they're going to have to make a big play, but the problem is...
I just don't see how it benefited him.
See, what should have happened? I was thinking, I immediately thought of a plan, and to me it was Jeremiah. They should have sent Jeremiah to Jefra and said, look, I understand that you're not going to vote with us, so I don't want to vote with us either. Why don't we vote out Spencer? Tell your team, let's vote out Spencer. Then Spencer plays the idol, and they blindside the person they want to vote for.
Yeah.
Send Jeremiah as a double agent. Send him over there as a spy.
Yeah,
it's stir something up.
They're not trying to get out of this bottom three. They're just sitting there letting it happen.
But we know better. We know that they're doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason Spencer revealed the idol, and it's not just to give somebody hope or say that I might play it on you, because Spencer ain't playing the idol on nobody but Spencer. So they probably had a plan, but it just didn't come to fruition.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Tribal Council.
Yep. Good
Spencer,
Tribal Council.
Yeah, great. Spencer kind of wraps it up. Well, the game was up for grabs, but then Jefra pretty much told us we're on the bottom, so she has an idol. It's either me or Jeremy.
I was going to say Geronimo, but anyway.
Yeah. So I like Jefra saying, look, I would rather risk being with them than being with y'all and being in the final three because I can't beat y'all.
And I think that's Trish's daily motto. We cannot beat Spencer and Tasha. We cannot beat them. I cannot beat them. You cannot beat them. Nobody can beat them. We have, and if Trish has been saying that continuously, then that's very smart. She's keeping it in Jeffra's head. You know, that we can't beat them. You've got to remember that when it comes down to it, you cannot beat those guys, and it's about winning the game.
Yep. And Spencer, Spencer says things that are absolutely true.
Yep.
Like, Tony, you broke promises before, and you will break them again. And people need to be listening to Spencer.
Name one. Dun, 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 dun. The music comes in, and Spencer's like, well, dude, you haven't broken it to me because we've never been on the same page. But you've broken promises to other people. Look at LJ sitting over there.
Yes.
And look at Sarah sitting over there.
Yeah.
But on the bad news side for Tony, Spencer said one of the smartest things he could have possibly said. Can I share this? I love it. If I'm in the jury, I'm voting Tony. None of you are getting my vote. And Tasha says, me too.
That's right.
Not because I'm rooting for him, but because he is controlling this game and playing this game.
And you are not. That's
just
right.
So y'all know, if you want to have a better chance of winning while I'm on the jury, if I get there, get rid of him.
That's right. He's
smart.
playing the game. Y'all are not. That's not what Tony wanted to hear.
And
that's good gameplay by Spencer and Tasha.
Outstanding. And what's neat is Tony is playing an aggressive attacking game. Spencer is playing an aggressive defensive game.
Yes.
And he's been in the defensive since Luzon started losing.
Right.
But thank you casting for Tony and Spencer. Oh my goodness. I mean, they're not saving the season because the season is good, but they are really making this season entertaining. Smart guys playing aggressive Survivor.
Yeah. That's right. All right, so let's see. Anything else?
It was good. I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember.
How about Trish? No, we called Tony out, and he promised he wouldn't do it again. What? I just died laughing. Tony probably had a hard time controlling his own laughter at Tribal Council when she said that.
It's so funny because he's doing the same thing Kass did last week. Tony's like, we're good. We got to keep the numbers. You don't want to vote out the numbers. You don't want to turn on the numbers. You got to keep the group together. Hey, LJ, you got to keep the group together.
Yes.
You don't want to lose your numbers.
Just how funny is it? Trish just looks like, I will trust him until the day I die. Until the day I'm voted off.
Tony says, I promise. I'm done lying. I'm not going to lie anymore. Wait a minute. You're going to have to go soon, and you're going to have to go soon. But I'm done lying. I'm not going to lie anymore.
What'd you think of the bag of tricks dialogue between Spencer and Tony?
I didn't like it at first because I was afraid he was going to pull it out and show the idol. And I just didn't think he was threatened. And like we've been talking about, I think he should wait till he's in danger, even though he probably thinks he's always in danger.
Right.
I don't know. It seems a little cheesy, but I really think it worked because Spencer stopped. He stopped and almost went back to look to see because when he pulled out that idol, the fake idol, Spencer stopped in his tracks and almost like, but at the same time, I think Spencer was playing him.
I think Spencer was trying to play him and trying to show his tribe, look, he's just lying. Would have worked last week because Tony didn't have anything in his bag of tricks.
Right.
This week, unfortunately, it would have came back and slapped Spencer in the face. So I'm glad Spencer didn't try to push that.
Yeah. Yeah. But and Gracie's just going, no, Spencer. They're not voting for you, Spencer. Kass said you got an idol. They are not voting for you. Please don't believe this. But she's pulling for Spencer.
But you know what, though? I mean, if you're Spencer and you don't play it, I mean, you're just taking a chance of going home with an idol in your pocket.
If you're Spencer and you feeling threatened and you finish in the top 2 or 3 of every immunity challenge, you play the idol and you go win the next challenge. Sorry, Tasha, but I'm going to do everything I can to win the challenge.
That's right. So, all right, let's vote. And I wrote Jeremiah's going home.
I wrote Jeremiah 5-3. Yep.
One of our first predictable vote outs.
Yeah, except for Morgan. That was predictable, but another good episode that led to it.
Yeah. Spencer's vote was funny. Hey, dude, just gonna vote for you, man.
So is Jeremiah's. Woo!
Spencer plays the idol. Tony plays with his, and Morgan claps when Spencer plays the idol.
Yep.
So I think Morgan might be voting for Spencer if Spencer makes it.
Exactly. But nobody in that alliance wants Spencer and Tasha at the end.
Mm-mm.
Got to get rid of those two. And now they have a chance. If Wu could win a challenge like he did the other week,
yep,
at least Spencer and Tasha wide open. And Tony knows. I mean, the question is going to come up. Spencer had an idol. Kass was right. He played it. Now neither have an idol. Do we worry about them finding the other idol? And Tony could end that by saying, hey, I've got the other idol. So we pick who we want and they go home. It's that simple.
Right.
But this is when now Spencer and Spyshack have to do their best survivor play and start pulling people away.
Yeah.
And they started it. They started it by pointing out that Tony's going to get votes, especially theirs if they're on the jury.
The problem with this idol is, though, there's no way to get Tony out. Tell me how you get Tony out.
You can't
without
get Tony
sacrificing
out.
somebody.
You have to sacrifice somebody and force him to play it. That's the only way you get him out is it takes 2 tribal councils. You can't get him out in one. You're exactly right. This is why I hate this idol.
But I don't want to sacrifice myself.
No.
So what about saying, you know what, we can't get him out. So let's vote everybody out but him, and whenever we get to final tribal, we just say he didn't earn his spot. The only reason why he's not voted out is because he had this get-out-of-jail-free card. Maybe?
True. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe use it against him if you can.
Yeah. Once he reveals it, you're right.
Right. So.
See, that's where it becomes tricky. As a fan, I'm glad Tony found it, but as a fan of Survivor, I'm not glad it's in the game.
Well, okay, I'm not sure I'd be glad. I don't think there's any one person that I would be glad that they found it. I'm glad. I thought it was great the way he found it. I'm glad because the way Tony plays, it's neat that he found it and how he found it, but I hate the idol.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that Tony, the guy that's watches our show, listens, whatever, he's tweeted to us and stuff. I'm glad that he found it because he's so entertaining. That gives us at least 1 or 2 more episodes with Tony. But at the same time, I'm not a fan of the idol.
Yeah.
at all.
I'm not. It'd be really cool if if they could figure out a way to use the idol against him, like hide it, so we can't bring it to tribal council.
Whoops! Did it
Now-
just fall into the volcano? Sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of Tony, I think what he did with Spencer was a little. I'm not like whining or whatever, but it just felt like a little childish.
Yeah.
He was calling him out for being immature, but it almost was like he was immature.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right. Probst says you're going to have to keep making big moves. I didn't really think tonight was a big move. But Probst is trying to, talk it up.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let him talk.
I think Tony was just confident. So there was no real reason to make a big move. But I like that. Even if he brings it out again, well, was it fake? Is it really fake? And he'll play the fake idol for a while.
Yeah. Next time on Survivor Auction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Spencer is going to try to make Tony paranoid. You know what? I think Spencer could play Tony.
Well, the thing in Spencer's corner right now is he's got nothing to lose. He's got no idol. He's got challenges, but he's got nothing to lose. So who do you think is going to pay for the advantage in the next immunity challenge? I think it's going to be Spencer.
I have no idea.
If he knows the game, so he knows that option is probably going to come up.
Oh, yes. Ask
Yes.
the question again. I will this time listen better.
Okay. If it comes up in the auction that there's an advantage in the next immunity challenge, who do you think is going to save their money till the end and buy it?
Spencer.
Oh, I would agree. I would wholeheartedly agree.
Yes. In the olden days, we would have edited out my little brain freeze there.
No, you were reading comments on YouTube, which you told me not to do a while back.
I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Great. Now we're going to get comments about it.
Well, somebody's got to read them because we got a lot of great comments.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's see if we got any comments to talk about. Let's see. Daniel M. I'm going to answer this. Well, I'm going to put it up here.
Uh-huh.
Do you really think it was a coincidence that Jefra was paired with the brains for the reward challenge? Seemed like a perfect setup for a flip. Yeah, I think it's the luck of the draw.
It was the island.
But David thinks it was the island. Will Dennison, who also says he's billing for his comments. So I don't think so maybe we shouldn't read this then, since he's billing for comments. All right. Well, we have not signed any contracts, so.
Read it again. Anyway.
Will says, but his argument, quote, if Tony's there, I'm voting for Tony, unquote, flips back against Spencer. With Tony's alliance, there's one player that can't be beat. With Spencer and Tasha, there are two. Yeah, but no one said that.
That's right.
Yeah. And then he also says about the super idol, rather play it on yourself when you weren't in danger than go home unnecessarily. Oh, no, he's talking about any idol. Yeah, absolutely. Play it on yourself.
I think kind of what Spencer is leaning towards, or hoping he's leaning towards, is if you want our help getting rid of the guy you can't beat, use us while we're here. Otherwise, it's going to get to a point where you can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
You can get rid of us after you get rid of him, but we're here to help you if you want to get rid of him.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Anything else? Any other comments about the episode you want to make?
It was good. The episode was much better than the ending because the ending was kind of predictable. I mean,
Right.
It kind of fell in place, but the way it got there was well edited and really good.
I really enjoyed the episode.
Yeah,
I
entertaining.
really did. So.
I'm kind of glad the idol's been found, so you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Right.
So it's there, and we'll see how it gets played. Should be interesting.
So if the season is going to be quote unquote predictable, then next week either Tasha or Spencer go home.
Right.
And next week the next one goes home.
Right.
If it's going to be predictable.
If they lose, if they don't win challenges.
Right. And
Which
then
means
we'll have the
they're going to win challenges.
Right.
Some of them is going to win challenges and cause a disruption in the.
I bet they will. They will. So we want to know what you think. So leave us feedback. We've been having some really great feedback shows. In fact, this week we'll have Andy Baker back on for the Baker's 15 that we will keep at 15. So that'll be Sunday night. But the feedback show is Sunday night, and the feedback is due at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And what time are we doing the show, David?
You said 7 when we did the intro.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 then.
Yeah.
Basically, if you get it in before we finish our notes, then we'll put it on the air. but try to get it in by 7 Eastern time. I apologize for the confusion. We keep moving it because of productions and things that are getting in the way. So I apologize. I know that's not very professional, and I apologize for that.
They know we're not professional. So.
Well, okay.
I would think I can't think of anything right now, so I would hope we could shoot for 9 o'clock my time. 9
All
o'clock
right, so
Eastern.
that'd be 9.
Is that good for you?
Central. Yeah, that's great for me.
Okay.
Yeah, Sunday night.
No, wait a minute.
Right.
You said 9 o'clock Central or 9 o'clock Eastern?
No, 8 o'clock Central. Oh, God. 9 Eastern.
8 Central.
9 Eastern.
6 on the West Coast.
Gosh.
7 Mountain.
Oh, and you can leave us feedback. Just go to survivortalkwithdnd.com/feedback, or if you're already on our website, up at the top there is a menu item that says feedback. All right?
Yes.
So click on that. It's right by the one that says support, which we would love for you to click.
There you go.
Follow us on Twitter at survivor_talk, and you can follow David at David_STWDD. And tell them about the Facebook group, David.
Join the Facebook group like the dozens and dozens of people have over the past few weeks. This has been probably one of our best push seasons to get our membership drive up on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. We love having international folks on there because we get to hear perspectives from other countries, and it's really neat.
We are up over. Go ahead.
350?
No, we're over 325.
325. Okay.
And on Twitter, we're up to about 885. So
Nice.
we're 15 away from 900. I remember when we were at 20 on Twitter. Amazing.
20. That's so 800 ago.
I know. What's up with that? 850, 860 ago.
Yeah, right.
So hit the website this week for blogs. You'll have Katya's, Shayna's, maybe Colton if he's up to it.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty busy with school. And David will have his out. And we'll have another episode coming out as well. Mm-hmm. So hit our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. And if you've never listened to our other podcast, Shooting the Breeze with D&D, go listen to it. It's on iTunes. And also you can, on our website, look for the menu item that says Shooting the Breeze episodes. I think we got about 10 or 11 of those out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mentioned that because I was listening to a show I like called The Incomparable, which I just gave them a shout out, so their numbers are going to go through the roof. Yeah, their numbers are already through the roof.
Yeah.
And he mentioned one of their other shows, and I went and found it, and they've been doing it forever, and I just never heard of it. So I thought, you know what, I need to mention it. So, all right, we have another comment that I want to read from Jennifer Myatt. I'm not glad that Tony found the idol because now he doesn't have to play. He can basically coast to the Final Four. He's been very entertaining, and now I feel he has to do nothing. That's a valid point for somebody else. I don't know if it's a valid point for Tony. I think Tony will still play.
I think Tony's going to play harder so that he doesn't have to play the idol or show the idol. He doesn't want to show it until he has to, but I think he's still going to play hard. I mean, he's still going to weigh options. You know, I can hear him saying, just because I got the idol doesn't mean I can't keep playing. You know.
Yeah.
But I understand her point. I agree with that. That is a valid point for somebody like Tony, but I don't think somebody like Tony can stop playing.
Yeah. I mean, if you give that idol to someone else, they just stop playing. You give it to, now he's going to be looking for some other idol or something else.
Yeah, if Morgan had found it, she'd be playing even less than what she was already playing.
Morgan be wearing it around her neck, and when they say, "Do you want to go get some water?" all you'd see is the idol come out of the tent.
Just
and then she'd put it back in.
Can I get you some water?
If Morgan had the idol.
That's funny.
Hey, David. Also, everybody, if you haven't heard my latest parody, I've been on a parody kick this season.
Yes, you have. You have struck podcast gold.
I have written the fugue for LJ, Tony, and Jeremiah about last week's episode, and it's pretty popular. I hope you enjoy it. I also, after our last feedback show, released the fugue exposed. Since it's 3 parts singing at the same time, I did one audio that has all 4 versions on it. LJ by himself, Tony by himself, Jeremiah by himself, and then all 3 of them together. So, all right. So I think for tonight's show, since it was a Spyshack episode, we'll end with Spyshack.
Cool.
For our music for tonight's show. I want to give a shout out to Drew Downs. Does all our awesome artwork, and we've been doing some artwork that every time Twitter changes or Facebook changes or anything, or even all this new Patreon stuff, I needed some artwork done, and I just give him dimensions, and he shoots it back at us. It's really great. I really appreciate Drew. Also want to give a shout-out to Weed Bay Guy. His name is Patrick. Anytime I have questions about our website, he also helped me with the Patreon page just a little bit. But he's always willing to help us with that, and I just want to give him a shout-out. And, of course, a shout-out to Shayna D., who also, she does our Survivor fantasy challenge points every week. Oh, which, by the way, I think Trish had a blur on the boat.
I think so, too. I saw a blur to the left of the screen, but I wasn't sure what it was for.
Yeah, and then, a blur caught my eye, and I looked, and I thought, oh, yeah, that was probably a blur. So, and I didn't rewind. No. Mm-hmm. But yeah. But anyway, a thank you to her. And then, of course, I know I'm doing some thank yous tonight, but I do thank Wendy Zell for bringing, I can't do this. Okay, there it is. The Zell Farm sticker for my Survivor wall to go along with some other stuff. So I do thank her for that. Am I missing anybody, David? Mike K., who helps us edit our blogs, especially yours. I mean,
especially after you try to look at it.
Yeah. One time I emailed him and I said, I need you to look at this again. My brain is tired. But you know what? Even whenever I write stuff, sometimes it takes two to three people looking at stuff to just to make sure it's right. And Mike K. has an eye for things that most people just read right over, including myself. So thank him for that. Oh, I'm going to miss somebody. This is why people don't say a bunch of thank yous at the ends of.
I want to say thank you to Tony, Trish, Jefra, Kass, and Woo for eliminating one of Dwayne's team players and not another one of mine, since I'm down to 2. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, good.
You are destroying me in that league.
I am. Lastly, go to Buff Inc. They were kind enough to let us put up their buffs, like they would have told me I couldn't, but you know what I'm saying. Go to Buff Inc. Get yourself a buff. All right, that's all I got. How about you, David?
Another good episode on a really good season.
Absolutely. See y'all on the other side. Bye.
See ya.
The Spyshack is a little hidden place where we can spy together. The Spyshack Tony. Spyshack Tony! Spyshack, that's where Tony's at. Spyshack, that's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking, Tony is a listening, wearing next to nothing cause it's hot as a mug. The whole shack shimmies cause Tony is a moving around and around and around and around. Everybody's talking, Tony is a listening, baby. Tribe doesn't know, Tony wants to get sound. Everybody's talking, Tony is a listening, baby. Private little shack, private little spy shack. Look at my biceps, much bigger than yours, and I'm about to hear woo. I've got me a spot where I can be sneaky, so come on, and we can spy on Lindsey. The Spy Shack is a little hidden place where we can spy together. Spy Shack Tony. The Spy Shack Tony. Spy Shack Tony. Spy Shack. Spy Shack. Oh, Tony. Baby, Spy Shack. A little more sturdy, Tony. Pom, pom, fronds, make the door, baby. I can't hear you. Pom, fronds, make the door, Tony. Pom, fronds, make the door. Pom, fronds, make the door, baby. Pom, fronds. You're what?
Spyshack busted.
Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack. Baby, that's where it's at. Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack. Tony Spy Shack, Tony Spyshack. They'll be Spyshack, Tony Spyshack. Watching at the Spyshack.